因为我骗子这个
我们的
啊，你看，
可有可。
看好了吗？
接下去，我们因为前面有人，我们也听到你放国际歌，要请你配合调查。
我们这里哪里放国际歌？
啊，
我们哪里放国际歌？
哪里放我们会调查的呀，
你从我的手
调查
机里哪里
清楚呀
放过国际歌？
啊，
接受调查。
啊，口头传唤你，希望你配合好。好
我
吧
现在配合呀，你说。
好，现在所以看和尚马的目的就是这个，
没问题
啊，对不对？
还要出去的吗？
我出去没问题。
不出
外
去怎么
面那么危
接受配合？
险，如果我老公阳了怎么
办？
办？谁负责任？如果我老公外面出去阳了怎么办？谁负责任？
保护好，和我们一样的，该戴口罩戴口罩，戴手套的戴手套。
你的大白呢？你的面罩呢？
啊，我穿
需要
我
提供
给他。
我们穿什么？我很害怕的，我需要。我们家还有小孩，有老人。
现在是传唤他，公安机关传唤他。
啊，没事没事。
你为什么对我凶？我在
我没对他凶，我现在跟他说公安机关传唤他。哇，你需要的话，我们这边。
Maybe you can explain.
Yeah, so I
what
put this
was
on my
going
Instagram. I want to, I want to explain something real quick. I don't know who did the translation, but it's a bit wrong.
It is wrong, yeah.
What this says is, it says we heard you playing an international song. Now, 国际 means like international,
International,
but 国际歌, which is what they said, means the international,
Yeah.
which is that like Soviet communist song.
Yeah,
right?
what is the main lyrics of that particular song?
So there are phrases and insinuations in there about like being like starving and slaves and all this kind of stuff, right? So what happened was people are playing a song, which by the way has been translated in Chinese and celebrated in
Yeah, they
Chinese
love that
culture.
song.
They
That's
love it.
because anything that's red,
Yeah,
anything
it's red
that's
song. It's a
communist
hongge.
is kind of celebrated by its specific generation.
Yeah, so what the people in Shanghai were doing was like, hell yeah, they're not going to let us play. We can't bang pots and pans outside.
They banned the national anthem, the Chinese national anthem,
they banned their
first
own
line.
national
Okay.
anthem's first
Yeah.
line. Because it said, rise up all those who refuse to be slaves.
Yes.
So the Chinese people were like, hell yeah, this is our time to rise up. Use our own national anthem because we're being oppressed.
They took that phrase off the internet.
They took that phrase, the hashtag.
The hashtag,
for it.
yeah.
Then now, Shanghai people are using the International as a protest song in a way because it's like, oh, we don't want to starve. We don't want to be like suckers, basically.
So this guy was playing it loudly in his apartment?
Well, it's alleged. We don't.
Yeah,
we didn't get
allegedly, yeah.
We don't get any hint of him doing that. They deny it.
不造谣，造谣；不信谣，信谣；不传谣，传谣。
So the cops show up and they're like, you're playing the International, which is, by the way, fully okay to play in China. They love it. Chinese government loves the International.
Sure.
Not right now because it's a protest song. So they literally arrested a man and made him go out in the wild without like a hazmat suit, even though it's
they also got really pissed off with his wife for asking basic questions.
Basic questions.
Yeah.
Because she goes, if you're not watching, she goes, why are you going to let my husband go out there? Because what if he's positive?
What if he catches COVID? We've got a child at home here.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So they're like, this doesn't concern you. This is about your husband. And the guy agrees. He has to go down to the police station. We don't know what happens after this, but he had to go to the police station for questioning, potentially getting arrested. But basically an arrest. They would have taken him if he didn't agree to go, by the way.
Yeah. That is an arrest.
That is an arrest.
You cannot refuse that.
No.
When they come and tell you to go down to the station, you can't refuse.
I'm just trying to I'm using journalistic integrity, but this is not a Western lens. This is China. I can say this guy was arrested for playing a communist the International in his home in Shanghai.
Yeah.
This is where we're at.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what happens when you've got a government that just can control the narrative and do whatever it wants.
Yeah.
They can change things on a dime. So like you said, a song that's celebrated in communist China that people play and that has been fully accepted, all of a sudden now, because it doesn't fit the current situation, it can get you arrested if you play that song.
These poor people, they have no outlet.
No.
Everything they do gets scrubbed.
And you know what? Now it's getting to a point where if you're living in Shanghai and you're complaining about this, you're now labeled as a separatist or a traitor to the country.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you're stuck for, what is it? Some people 50, 60 days, whatever it is.
Now?
I think I just saw someone on Twitter today saying it was day 47 for them. But I know that they didn't go in, in the beginning. They weren't first. So there are people that have been in there for what, like probably 2 months now.
Oh, at least. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you're probably at 2 months, 60 days.
Yeah,
that sounds
around about 2 months, close to 2 months if it's not 2 months or more. And obviously people that have been longer.
Yeah.
Because there are other lockdowns that have been going on for far longer
over 100.
Outside of Shanghai.
Yeah, in Jilin province, a couple.
Yeah. But remember, and I just have to point this out again. Remember last week I said, because we're truthful and we're honest on this show.
Yeah.
And I said that they were allowing some complexes to, some people in these complexes to go outside for 2 hours
In
a
their
day.
yard, yeah.
Yeah, like walk around in the yard or whatever. They allowed that for a day, and then they shut it down.
1 day.
Yeah, 1 day. And then everyone was like, great. And I think they did this on purpose because, you saw the
It
shills
was used for propaganda.
on their things. Look how great it is. We can walk around and look at how peaceful the city is and stuff. And look at how great, like I'm allowed out of my house and I'm allowed to walk around. And so you got a bunch of influencers and stuff putting this out there. And so I think the international community kind of relaxed a bit. They're like, oh, it's getting better. And that's what they wanted. They wanted that chilling effect, that cool-off effect. Because everyone's like, this is terrible. These people aren't allowed out. Then suddenly everyone's like, oh, look, I can walk around. Everything's cool. Everyone's like relaxed a bit. And then the next day it's like, bam, we're doing a hard reset. We're doing a hard reset where we're going to start another 15-day lockdown. So it doesn't matter. Because remember, it's supposed to be like 14 days or whatever. And then when it reaches the end and everyone's clean, they're supposed to, let everyone out.
The unwashed.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact of the matter is, like, during those 14 days, if somebody tests positive in your building, it resets again.
Yeah.
But now they just did a blanket reset. Doesn't matter how long your building's been clean. Doesn't matter if you've passed it or whatever. Blanket reset across the entire city.
Yeah. It's just
they stopped all deliveries.
a rolling thing.
All deliveries, at
Yeah.
least for 3 days. In a lot of the notices, it said for 3 days, no deliveries will be allowed. But that who knows? That's indefinite. Right?
Yeah.
So they blocked anyone from ordering any KFC or anything like that. Because KFC, by the way, is a dog whistle. Have you noticed all of these guys?
It so is.
Everyone who's somehow like,
I'm glad you brought this up.
we're like, oh, we're free now. Look, I'm eating KFC. We've seen multiple people talk about KFC.
In the shills.
Yeah.
The shill community.
Yeah, and
the greater shill
yeah.
community.
Yeah, I really do think it's something along the lines of the Chinese
weird.
government saying,
It's
well,
weird.
they're foreign food, KFC. If we can show that they're
Dude,
eating KFC.
If you think about it from the government's perspective,
Yeah.
like you said, they let him out in the yard for a day just to stop some of this boiling pressure. It's like a steamer that's doing like a popcorn bag.
Yeah.
Right? It's about to pop.
Sure.
It's about to blow up and burn everything.
Yeah.
They like let people out, simmer down a little bit, and they know that not only are they're going to incentivize the shills to take videos and be like, look, I'm so free in my yard. But the normal people go out there and be like, finally, they let us out for a little bit, right? Then they take that privilege away. But they got all that information to proliferate. The foreigners are going to go out there on their VPN and say, look how free I am. But at the same time, if the foreigners went out and said, hey, look, I got some steamed vegetables or some Chinese food or whatever, people abroad won't resonate with that.
Yeah.
So I think the Chinese government literally said, like, let's open up a KFC.
Yeah.
Let's get some KFC to these.
Let's make sure that these guys get
these
KFC.
piece of shit foreigners,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
These shitty Americans and British people and stuff. Let's shut them up with some KFC. Pop a drumstick in their mouth. Make them do some posts, and then the rest of the world will say, "Oh, they're so well off.
Yeah, they're so free. They can even get KFC.
They can get KFC.
Yeah.
Like it's something that everyone loves.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so it's kind of a bizarre thing, but I just wanted to quash that. That whole idea of people being able to walk around free in Shanghai is not true.
Yeah.
And they allowed it for a day or two.
Yeah.
And then they shut it down, and everyone's back in hard lockdown right now.
Yes.
And I know this because I've got various people in Shanghai from all walks of life, foreigners and local Chinese people, all telling me, and they live all over the city, not just in one like posh area or something like that.
You're right.
So it's bad again. Just had
It
to
is.
say that.
It is.
And this is what happens if you get pissed off and you play like a nationalist song.
International.
要请你配合教育。
Anyway,
Anyway, you get the
yeah.
idea.